Yes, I'll read the bill. I'll read all the bills. But the bills getting big didn't just start recently, folks. The 1961 Foreign Aid and Assistance Act is 480 pages long. And as amended, that bill is over 2,000 pages long now. The federal income tax regulation, 1986, when they passed it, it was not 18,400 pages. It is now. This healthcare bill, 33,000 pages is what you said? We have to do better. We wrote our Constitution in a couple of pages. We have to do better. But yes, I'll read the bills. And if they're not constitutional, I won't vote for them.
This gentleman right here will take the floor.
I've seen you talk before, right here in this place before, and I'm really proud of the fact you said you're a Christian. And I think we need more Christians in office. But I have it seems like instead of saying what I'm going to do when I get into office, this is what's wrong with the other party. You're continually, not just you, but Mike Skelton and both continually running the other person down. You know, why can't we just say, this is what I'm going to do when I get in office, instead of putting the other person down, this is what I want to do when I get in office. And then another question, we have a Supreme Court justice that just went in for life. We go in for life. Why? This to me, this is not right. It's just not right. To get a job for life for what? For what? To me, it just isn't right. And another thing, the people that are in office feel like they should stay there forever. My feeling is 2 terms is enough. 2 terms.
Yeah, excellent points. Yeah, I think we do need to, as people, vote people out sooner, and they shouldn't stay there for life. Ike Skelton's been there for 34 years. That's why the reason it's important for people to know where somebody that they've been voting for 34 years, how they've been voting, is because people need to be given a reason to switch their vote. Because you tend to keep doing the same thing unless you get information. I'm a teacher, and so I believe in knowledge is power, and it's very, very important. So it's a fine line. You have to give voters, I think, information about Ike to let them know he voted for cap and tax and voting with Nancy Pelosi 95% of the time. But at the same time, give your vision. And that's why in my early comments, I try to say, this is what I'm going to do. I think we need to address jobs. This is what I'm going to do for spending. This is how I'm not going to participate. So try to share my vision, and so you know where I stand on issues as well. But I appreciate what you're saying, absolutely.
Negative ad itself. It's a proven statistical fact. Slam the other guy, you're likely to win. That's the way politics has always been done. It's probably the way politics will always be done. Okay, I slammed both parties. I divorced both of them a long time ago. So I slammed both of them to get your attention. I want to make you think. And that's what negative ads do. You either think, well, that's a bald-faced liar, or you think, well, that's the truth. Now, I forget the second part of your question, but that's what I had to say about the negative ads.
I had a lady right here, this gentleman in
Francis Oxy from Butler, Missouri, and we're going to fast forward, and both of you guys got elected. We're going to fast forward, and as freshmen, it'd be tough. But what's the very first piece of legislation that you would do?
The very first piece of legislation that I would submit personally, probably elimination of the czar position. The very first piece of legislation that has already been submitted that I would co-sponsor is Ron Paul's Sanctity of Life Amendment. It's already there. They buried it in some subcommittee. It'll never see the light of day until we resurrect it. That's what we should do.
I tell people I don't have a to-do list when I get to Washington. I have an undo list. And that's really the truth. I'm not going with, I don't believe we need more government programs and we need to start this and start that. I don't think the solutions are in Washington that our country needs. So, having said that, the first thing I'm going to do is not vote for Nancy Pelosi for Speaker. Now, that's not legislation, but that's the first thing I'm going to do. That's very, very important. But secondly, if you are looking at legislation, I think Obamacare, repealing Obamacare is the first thing probably we need to do, and that's what I will.
Question for Greg. Where in the Constitution does it give Congress power to have deficit spending?
There's nowhere in the Constitution that allows Congress to have deficit spending.
Then why do we let Congress get away with it?
Why do we let them get away
Yeah,
with
why
it?
do we let Congress deficit spend year after year after year?
I don't know. You've been voting for longer than I have. Why do we
Thank you. Now, question for Vicky. If you get elected, what's going to keep you from getting corrupted like everybody else up there?
I hear, that's a common question. That's a legitimate concern because people do change, and that's something I think is very sobering and I take very seriously. And it's basically going to be staying grounded in what's important and who you really work for. And I think my priorities is first you serve the Lord, then you serve others. And I have a great group of prayer team around me and friends, and I think you stay up there. I don't care about Washington life. I care about Missouri life. So come home to your friends, your family, your church,